Well, Paul, it's that time again. What the heck is on your mind?
Well, I tell you, it's a simple thing. I ran across the term landline. What the heck is a landline? And then it occurred to me, hey, that's what we used to call a phone
A
line.
phone. That's right. A telephone.
Absolutely. And
Uh-huh.
so I started thinking about how that utility has changed over the years. A
hmm
lot of profound changes. You got some thoughts?
Well, yes. I remember having a phone in our house when I was a kid. It was just the one phone. It was black. It had a rotary dial, and it lived in the kitchen on a little desk. And of course, because it was in the kitchen, if you wanted to make a call, you made it in the kitchen. It was the most public place in the house. And if you received a call, it was in the kitchen. So nothing was private about the phone back then.
Right. And if you had a problem, a guy showed up with a utility belt, climbed the
hmm
nearest telephone pole, and solved that problem for you. Um, One of the Bell companies, I guess ours was Northwestern Bell before they were all broken up.
hmm
Um, did you have a single line or was it a party line? Do you remember?
No, when we lived in a fairly urban area, we did not have party lines there, but I
Oh,
imagine you did way out there in the boonies.
well, yeah. Life in the small town, Jim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a party line when we first started. We didn't keep a party line, but I think when we first started, there was no choice. You had to share a line, and so depending on how talkative your neighbors are, you either had a lot of time to make calls, or you
Or
had to
none.
interrupt somebody. Chet, you've been on the phone for 3 hours. Can we get in? We got to make a call. Uncle Bob had a heart attack. We got to, you know.
Well,
But then we soon went to our a private line for obvious reasons. Um,
of course, at that moment, you couldn't snoop on your neighbors. You couldn't overhear, listen to their conversations unbeknownst to them.
right, right. Uh, I tell you another thing. You mentioned that your phone was stationary,
Yeah.
but in the kitchen.
hmm
Yours was in the kitchen.
hmm
Ours was in the kitchen. So you walked to the phone to make a call. You didn't pull it out of your pocket.
Yeah.
And if you were not at home, you better have a dime and a quarter so you can use a payphone, right?
Yeah, that's right. A payphone.
Yeah, yeah. In every payphone booth, there was this odd thing called a phone book. Do you remember?
Yes, I
And
remember the phone book. And I
and
remember
in a public phone booth, there was probably a half dozen pages
pages
missing
missing.
because
Right.
people would just so if they wanted to remember a number, they just ripped the page out of the phone book.
Although there were plenty of individual phone numbers that you might want to dial if you were so inclined, posted on the walls of the phone uh, kiosk, the telephone booth. They were usually for a good time call Sally types of phone
I
numbers.
I wouldn't know. I didn't see those messages.
You
Well,
didn't.
did you have a good time with Sally
I
or?
I tried to.
And you know what else is gone? Information, please. You can no longer call an operator to locate a phone number for a long distant friend in Des Moines.
I
Can't
didn't
even
even
do
know
it.
that. I That is sad.
It is sad.
Really sad.
Uh, and along with it, they have really scaled down the number of phone operators that
Mhm.
they have working for the different phone companies.
Yeah.
Which I guess is sad. There's one of those skill sets that you really can't apply anywhere else. Number, please. Number, please. Or where can you do that now? Who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe play in a bingo parlor. There you go. Number, please. Number, please.
Well, gosh, Paul, with all of that history, what's left?
I don't know, but I tell you, the switch to cell phones has been huge.
Yeah.
I remember the first one I saw. It was it looked like one of those walkie-talkies from a World War
World
II
War
movie.
II, yeah.
Huge.
Yep.
And you had to use two hands to hold it up to your ear.
Right.
Um,
And remember how loudly people would talk when they had one of those just to
Absolutely. They
be
wanted the
important,
world to know. Yeah.
self-important. Yes.
Although
Yeah.
there's still people like that today, even with smaller cell phones. There are
Yeah.
people that seem to want you to hear their phone conversations.
That's true.
I think the biggest regret for me is getting away from the phone. Now you're expected to keep it in your pocket or have it with you at all times, be instantly reachable. Um, I
Well,
think that's an unfair
and
expectation,
I
Tim.
and I expect you to have that in your pocket at all times, Paul.
Hey, there's nothing about this podcast that's life or death. It can't wait a day, Jimbo. You know, uh, for the folks listening here, he treats me very harshly because sometimes I take a day to get back to him when he's
Yeah.
got an issue.
And that I'm biting my nails the whole time. Is he all right?
Absolutely. And,
Is
and
he in the
usually I just say,
hospital?
talk to your therapist, Jim. Quit calling me.
I,
Quit calling me for
I
advice.
my therapist is not answering her phone. Okay.
Gotcha. Here's a quiz. Do you remember your home telephone number?
I certainly do.
And what is it?
Which
Was it?
one? Which one? Yes, it had a prefix, right?
Right.
Like a name.
I think they call it an exchange.
In exchange? Okay. Yes, it was Vanderbilt 43804.
Yeah, just 5 numbers
Yeah.
and a name.
Vanderbilt VA 43804.
Yeah. Our phone was Amherst 33301.
Hmm.
And if a man answered, hang up. You know that. Oh man, those days are gone. And you know what? We can't do that curmudgeon-y thing and go, well, those were the days. No, I like having a cell phone. I like being able to call from your car if you need for some reason. Um, drive through, for example, the really life changing things that you need a phone for.
Yep.
Well, we ain't gonna change it, my friend. It's here to stay. And you ain't gonna change me. It's still gonna take me a day to get back to you. Sorry about that.
Unfortunately. But I
Well,
can keep trying. I can keep making you feel guilty.
that's right. Call information if you need to reach me.